The client Ika is overwhelmed by a group assignment in which her group mates are unresponsive and not contributing. She feels burdened, frustrated, and emotionally drained from carrying most of the workload alone. Despite her anger, she struggles with guilt and avoids confrontation to maintain the group harmony, in which has beginning to affect her well-being and academic performances.
Hi, you're Ika, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for meeting with me today. I'm Miss Isha, your counselor. So before we start, I would want to let you know that everything we talk here is confidential. That means nothing you say will be shared outside this place unless there's a serious risk of harm to you and people around you. So if that happens, I will explain what you need to do. Other than that, this is your safe space and you're in control of what you want to share. So what do you want to share?
Okay, so first of all, it's good to know that it's confidential because it's really hard for me to open up. Actually, I'm just really stressed about this group assignment. My group mates are basically not doing anything, and it's all falling on me.
Oh, I see. Sounds like the workload has become really unbalanced. You're feeling the pressure from carrying the assignment mostly by yourself.
Yeah, and the deadline is next week, and I'm running around chasing people to do their part. I've already done like 80% of the work.
So that must feel incredibly frustrating. You're doing your best and it's like no one's even noticing or trying to help you.
Exactly. And the worst part is, I feel so guilty for being angry. Like, I feel like maybe I'm overreacting or just being too controlling.
So there's a part of you that's angry and overwhelmed, but there's another part that's questioning if it's okay for you to feel that way. Right?
Yeah. I don't want to make things worse in the group, so I just keep quiet and finish everything by myself.
Okay. Let me check if I'm hearing this right. So you're managing most of the workload, trying not to cause conflict, and at the same time holding in a lot of stress and frustration.
Yes, and it's starting to affect everything else. I have 2 other assignments due, and I just don't have the energy. And also because I'm active in the college program, and so it's really overwhelming. I even cried the other night because I feel so alone.
I see. Thank you for being so honest with that. That sounds really heavy, even from me listening. You're doing so much, and it is completely valid for you to feel overwhelmed. It takes a lot of strength to hold things together when it feels like you're doing it all alone. Can you think like any specific moment that really hits you when you feel like too much?
I think like last Thursday, when it's the night before the presentation, but I'm still editing the slide at 3 a.m. I'm so exhausted.
So even if the presentation just being hours away, you're also unresponsive to your text and you will have to handle everything on your own.
Yeah, I was so exhausted and angry, but mostly just very disappointed.
Disappointed. Or I can say maybe even hurt because it wasn't just about the workload. It felt like they didn't respect your effort or even acknowledge it. Am I right? So have you ever spoken to them directly about how you feel?
No, not really. I don't want to sound bossy, so I usually just accept it and move on.
I see. I understand. It can be scary to speak up when you're worried about how people will respond, and that's very offense, right? But staying silent seems to be costing you a lot, emotionally and mentally. What do you think about what might happen if you share your feelings honestly to them, but calmly?
Maybe they will take me seriously, or maybe they will just ignore me again. I don't know.
I understand you. It's okay to have both hopes and fears, but I hear a small part of you wondering if there's a way to stand up for yourself, right?
Maybe.
So, would it help if we talk about how to express yourself in a way that is assertive but respectful?
Yeah, I think that might help.
We could even brainstorm a message or practice together just to build your confidence. So, So you've been dealing with a lot, carrying the group alone and staying silent to avoid conflict, right? And you're feeling drained from doing more than your share. But now you're starting to reflect on how to balance your responsibilities and your emotional health. And that is a very powerful first step. So congrats.
Thank you so much. Actually, I didn't realize how much it affects me until I said it out loud to you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Shah.
Okay, thank you again, Ika. Thank you for being so open and honest today. I know it wasn't easy for you to talk about this, but your willingness to share shows a lot of strength. You have taken an important first step in acknowledging how the situation is affecting you, and not just your studies, but your emotional health. And that self-awareness is a powerful place to begin making change. So before we end up our session today, I'd like to offer you to do a small task, if that's okay. It is to help you process your thoughts and prepare you for your next step. So would you be open to write a short message or a note for yourself about how you feel or what you like to say to your roommates? And this could be something like what you have been going through, what you need to hear from them, and how you hope to move forward as a group. The note doesn't need to be perfect. The point of the writing the note is just to put your feelings into words, even privately. So what type of writing you prefer to do? Like journal or entry letter or what?
I think journal is good because I love to write journal.
Or would you be comfortable to record a short voice note instead?
I don't think I do voice note. Maybe just writing in notes.
I see. So whichever you choose is completely okay. You should do it in the way that feels the safest and the most natural for you. So if you like, we can review it together in our next session. But if you feel like it's too personal, you can keep it to yourself as a part of your personal growth. So do you mind if we discuss a bit that would work for you for our next session?
Sure. I think I can just follow your time.
Or you are free, so maybe next Monday would work?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
So I'll
Miss.
see you again next Monday.
Okay, Miss. Thank you so much for today's session. It really helps me a lot.
And thank you to you too because you're being so brave.
For the second session, the client Isha is experiencing emotional distress due to ongoing conflicts with her fiancé just 2 months before their wedding. She feels unheard and emotionally disconnected, especially when her concerns are dismissed or laughed off by him. A recent issue involved her feeling neglected while he spent excessive time on his phone, which he dismissed her as being too sensitive. This recurring lack of emotional validation has caused Isha to question the strength of their relationship and fear that these patterns may persist into their marriage. Hi Isha, thank you so much for being here today. Alright, so before we begin, I would like to tell you that this space is a very safe and confidential, and everything you say today will be only between us unless there's a risk of harm to you or someone else.
Okay, Miss Vika, I understand that.
Alright, great. Alright, so how are you feeling today?
Honestly, I'm a bit overwhelmed, so that's why I agreed to talk to you today.
Okay, thank you so much for being honest about your feelings. Alright, if I can ask, would you want to share a bit about what's been going on?
It's actually about my fiancé. We're supposed to get married in like 2 months, but lately we've been arguing quite a lot. I feel like he doesn't listen to me or take my feelings seriously.
Okay, it sounds like you're feeling unheard in your relationship.
Exactly. Whenever I try to bring up something that's been bothering me, he either brush it off or gets defensive.
That must feel frustrating for you.
It is. I keep asking myself, if we're already having this much conflict now, what's going to happen after we're married?
So that's a very valid concern because you're worried that this pattern might continue into your marriage. So, can you tell me about a recent situation where you felt like he wasn't listening to you?
A recent situation, I think it's last week. where I told him that he spends too much time on his smartphone and not on me. Even when we were out having dinner, he just laughed and said that I was being too sensitive.
Okay, I see. So how did that make you feel?
Like my feeling didn't matter for him. I just wanted him to like understand where I was coming from.
Okay, so from what I heard from you, it's not really about just the phone. It's about feeling emotionally disconnected, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm not asking for much. Just quality time, attention and affection from him.
I see. Okay, so you're sharing your needs and hoping for reassurance and connection. But instead, you felt dismissed, and that somehow leaves you feeling distant and unsure.
I think yes, and I don't want to go into marriage with all this stuff.
I understand. Okay. First of all, it's very brave of you to reflect on this now instead of pushing it aside, because a lot of people that are having avoidance attachment does this. So it shows how much you care about the foundation, about building the strong foundation for your future. Alright, so if I may ask, do you think your fiance might be dealing with stress or pressure himself? Perhaps in a way that makes him less emotionally available.
I think maybe because he's been busy with work lately, but he doesn't really share with me about it.
I see. Okay, Isha, from what I can see, sometimes when people shut down or dismiss things, it's really not because they don't care sometimes. It could be in their way of coping. Do you think you might know what might be going on in his world that could explain his behavior?
I guess he might not know how to handle emotions because he tends to joke when things get serious.
I see. That's an insightful observation. Humor can sometimes be a defense to avoid vulnerability. So, do you think he might be going through something silently?
I think it's possible for him to go through something because I've seen him look tired and distracted. But when I ask, he always say everything is fine, everything is fine.
Would you consider gently encouraging him to open up about what he's been dealing with?
I've never really asked him directly. I'm usually focused just on how I feel.
And that's completely understandable. You deserve to feel heard. So, have you had a chance to express these deeper feelings to him in a calm moment?
I've tried before, but I always end up crying or getting angry at him. Then he will shut down.
Okay, it sounds like communication between you both gets emotionally charged. And that's completely normal actually, especially when the relationship is important to you.
Yeah, I just want us to go through this, not grow apart. Because we want to get married.
And that's a very powerful intention. Alright, Isha, would you be open to exploring how you might approach the conversation differently next time? Maybe with I statement instead of you statement.
How do I do that?
Okay, let's see an example. Because as you said earlier, you use you never listen. Instead of that, what about you say, I feel hurt when I don't feel hurt by you?
That sounds way better and softer.
Yes, exactly. It helps reduce defensiveness, we call it, and opens the door to real connection. Alright, now, what do you think you really need right now to feel more grounded in your relationship?
I need to feel like we're a team, like we can work through things together instead of avoiding them.
I see. So that's a very great thing to get there, and that makes so much sense because having that emotional partnership is so important. What do you think one small step you could take this week to move towards that?
I don't think that I'm ready to confront him face to face just yet, so maybe I will write him a letter. That way I can express myself without crying or getting too emotional.
Okay, Isha. Okay, good. So that's a very thoughtful idea. because when you write, it allows you a space to reflect and share from the heart, and it also gives him the time to really absorb what you're saying without like he always being avoidance about it. And maybe in the letter you could also let him know that you're open to hearing what's going on with him too. Just something simple like, if there's anything you've been holding in, I want you to know that I'm here to listen. Something like that.
I like that. It shows that I care about his side too, not just mine.
Exactly. Alright, so that small gesture might help him feel safe to open up. And then you're creating a space for honest, two-way connection, and that's a beautiful step forward. Okay? Alright, so thank you so much, Isha, for sharing so openly today. You've shown a lot of courage, and it's very clear how much you value your relationship.
Thank you, Miss Ika. This really helped me. I feel like I know what I need to do now.
Okay. I'm so glad to hear that. And remember that you are not alone in this. If you ever feel ready, we can plan another session. Even one where your fiancé joins. Okay? Only if both of you comfortable, of course.
I think I like that, and maybe after he reads the letter, he will like that too.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Okay, so as of now, you take your time, trust the process, take care of yourself, write a nice letter, and if you want to consult me to the letter, also you can do that. Okay? You've taken the first step, and that's often the hardest part, and you go through that, and that's very good.
Thank you. I feel so much better after our session today.
Alright, thank you so much, Isha. See you later.
Thank you, Miss.
Welcome.